SPMP サイドストーリーくんねちぷ。
Previous overview. After consulting with her family, Kunasiapu decides to embark on a journey to find her sister. Then, with the meaning of strengthening her resolve, she went to Susa, who lives deep in the mountains. Kodan, where Susa lives, is located at the end of the river that flows through the valley, so it's easy to understand, but it's a little far away. Besides, he might be in a bad mood, so that's what worries me. In the past, I rarely saw people when I was a little far away from Kodan, but on the way to the river I was aiming for, I passed many people, and I felt that the number of people had increased considerably. However, when I arrived at the river I was aiming for and headed upstream along the riverbank, I didn't see any people at all, and there was only one narrow road, and it was an idyllic place where only the singing of birds could be heard. On the way, I saw a deer, but the deer noticed me and looked at me ever since. When I waved to the deer moved its ears slightly and then shook its head up and down, as if it was greeting me. After parting ways with the deer, I walked up the riverbank for a while and came to a slightly open area, where there were several houses lined up. The house was a little different from ours, and the walls of the house were made of stones. As I was staring at the wall of the house in a strange way, I was called out from behind, and when I turned around, there was a man standing there who always acted with Susa, and when we exchanged greetings, he pointed to Susa's house and told me. I'm a little nervous because I'm going to see Susa again after a long time. So I hesitated for a moment in front of the house when I heard his voice from inside the house, "Get in." Surprised. I wonder if he was watching me. When I entered the house, I saw Susa standing with his back to me in the middle of the room. I felt like he was angry somehow, but I was a little confused because I didn't know why he was angry. But I had to tell him about my departure, so I called out to him, "Long time no see," and Susa turned around and said, "Long time no see, you're a very cold woman." He replied with a slightly surprised expression. Then he motioned for me to go outside, and when we got out, he started walking towards the nearby river. This Kodan was surrounded by mountains, but it was a well-ventilated place and the refreshing breeze made me feel comfortable. I was smiling a little from the comfort of the wind when Susa turned around and looked at my expression and sighed with a wry smile. "I win." He laughed a little, "So I won." After a short walk from Kodan, we came to a river with many rocks, and we sat on a large rock and watched the river flowing quietly. There were small fish swimming in the river, and I felt a little soothed when I looked at the scene. As we were looking at the river together, Susa muttered, "The 2G coast was good, but this place is my favorite right now," and I said, "Yes." After answering, we looked at the river for a while. Then, while looking at the river and looking for an opportunity to start talking to him, Susa asked, "Is it a story about your sister?" But it wasn't surprising. I knew he cared about my sister. And when I said, yes, he asked me, "Are you going to pick up your sister?" When I told him that I wanted to talk to him about it today, Susa gave me a surprising answer that it might be better. I was a little surprised because I thought he would definitely disagree. Susa continued, "I have sent emissaries many times in the past, but I am in trouble because I have not been able to meet your sister, let alone persuade her. I guess that means that she has a strong distrust of Susa, but not being able to see my sister feels strange from my sister's personality. My sister is a person with a strong sense of responsibility, so I think she will tell it herself." Until now, I've only seen my sister face it head on, so maybe there's something wrong with her not being able to do that. Maybe she's waiting for us to pick her up. If so, I have to pick up my sister as soon as possible. When I told Susa about it and tried to leave, he stopped me and told me to go home tomorrow because it would be dark if I went home now, so I had no choice but to spend the night at Susa's house that day. Today's story ends. The continuation of the story will be updated tomorrow. Please look forward to. If you like, please subscribe to the channel. See you again.